Hello there, welcome to Blackmagic Tuesday. This is a new one and it's going to be happening every Tuesday. We're going to be learning more about Blackmagic products, Blackmagic systems and how to operate them. So starting us off today, we're going to start with the Atem software control. This is a software that you can download when you have any Atem unit, Atem Television Studio HD or the new Atem Mini Pro models. It works with all the models for the Atem switches. So I'm going to take you through a few things on the Atem software control to start you off. Let's get started. So when you open the Atem software control, first of all, before you open the page, there's when you download the software, it comes with Atem setup software. If you have more than one unit connected to your network, if you have an Atem Television Studio HD like me right here, and then you've connected an Atem Mini Pro as well, you can go to the Atem setup software and then select which switcher you want to control via the software. So for my today's session, I have the Atem Television Studio HD, which the interface is right here. So let's get started. On the Atem software control, we have a few things. When this is the first page you see when the software opens. We have the preview and program buttons. Some of them are gray. Others are lit white. So the ones that are white are the ones that are functional. The ones that have other colors, they've been assigned already. These gray ones, when you have a switcher that has these functions enabled, then they'll come on. On the program row, this is where you select if you want your source to go out on the output. On the preview, this is whereby you prepare your shot. And then we have also DSK1 and DSK2. DSK is basically, they help you to have overlays, like say name tags. I don't know if Yasin made any, but anyway, if he had my name back there, he would have put my name Fauzia right there using a DSK. We have on the right side, palettes, media players, and output. On palettes tab, the thing that I'm going to talk about today is the Upstream keyer. This is what you use to have picture in picture. Let's say you have a show and then you have a sign language interpreter, or like right now on your screens, you're seeing the interface, you're seeing the switcher interface and myself. That is a picture in picture format. So you can come configure that on this Upstream keyer right here. You have to assign a source to it first of all. So for this, I had my Blackmagic camera connected to the Atem so that I can at least have a source. Let me go get that right now. Camera 1. Yeah. So you have it assigned, and then you go to the DVE, the digital video effects. This is whereby you can get the positioning tools. Once you have it overlaid, I'm sorry, I'll have to turn this so that I'm able to see what is happening on my screen. The source from the media players. Let me add a source here on the media tab so that I can have at least two sources. Okay, headbox, yeah. This is where you add your media files, by the way. They're still images. So if you have, it can have up to 20 at a go, but you can only have 2 of them going out at the same time. That is on media player 1 and media player 2. So I'm going to have those, I think it's a repetition of the same image. I'll go back to my switcher tab and then have my media player on program and then have my keyer right there. Yes, there we go. I don't know if Yasin you like it. So you can come and configure the positioning and scaling from here. You can scale it to be smaller and position it, the X and the Y axis. Something like that. It's as easy as that. So you already have your picture-in-picture source right there. Something else is the transitions. Transitions, it depends with what you're mixing at that moment. So if it's a show that needs a lot of transitions in it, let's say it's an entertainment show, you can come to the wipe tab and get all these transitions. Let's say I use this one. I need to have something on preview. I'll just remove that key so that I'm able to switch. Yeah, I need it assigned. Under transition style on the preview, just beside the preview, there's transition style. Right now, my transition style is on mix. So that's why no matter what pattern I pick on my wipe tab, you will not be able to see that effect. I have to make sure that wipe is also selected under transition style. So once I have my wipe selected, there you go. You can have your transition patterns for you to switch between your sources. And then we have fade to black. Definitely this is fading everything to black. And then we have media players. Under media players, when we added media on our media tab right here, our media are these still images. Let me find something different for media player 2. It's more or less the same image. So let me I don't know if these people will sue me for using their images. Anyway, I have media player 1 and media player 2, both of them having different feeds. So when I get back to my media players on my main switcher tab, media player 1 has and media player 2 has still 2. So if you want to change which image you want to have arrow, or you can go to the media tab and just drag and drop. You drag the image and drop it to whatever media player you want it to appear on. This from our last Blackmagic video, I had shown you how to configure a Hyperdeck so that you're able to control everything under one software. That includes recording and playback on the Hyperdeck via the Atem software control. So in case you missed that, you can go back to our how-to videos and catch up on that. Yeah. And then we have, that is the switcher tab. Then the media tab, I've already taken you through it. You'll just see a list of the disks you have in your PC, and then the folders that you contain as well in your PC. And then you'll be able to browse to whatever folder you have your files saved. Under audio, if I had any audio coming in, I don't know if my camera has on. Have to confirm that. Yes, just give me a moment. I confirm. Yeah, the internal mic was not on, but I'll just have it on right now and then show you. Yes, there we go. So my camera has internal mic on, and you can see already from the audio tab we have audio coming in, but it's highlighted gray. This means that this audio for this specific channel is not enabled to go out. So you can do that from either the switcher itself by switching the button right on top of the program program button. I can have that on or have AFV. AFV is audio follow video. You have audio coming from your cameras and you want, or it's a playback machine. You're playing something back from either a Hyperdeck and you want this audio to go to the program only when you're playing that Hyperdeck source. So for that case, you can have audio follow video on, because if you have the channel on, not audio follow video, then this means even if a camera is on program, it will still contain audio from the Hyperdeck recorder. Because I don't have any other audio coming in. Once you have it, if that specific source is on program, it will be highlighted up there. That is a tally light showing you that this source is on program. If I go back to the switcher tab and have it, if I have it on preview, different on program, yeah. Oh, sorry, I have to make sure that that is not highlighted. Since I have it on, it will be consistent because when you have it on, it doesn't matter whatever source is on program, so all audio will just go to the program. And then what else do we have? You can regulate the levels of your audio using this slider right here, either take it higher or take it lower. Then also you can pan using this, but for this specific one, I don't think I can pan. You can adjust the figures there. If you have a mic coming in, my switcher has an XLR port at the back. So if you have XLR, you can have it off. I don't have any XLR connections right now, so I'll have it off. Yeah, so I'll have it off. Okay, someone is just requesting me to take a break, and I just got started. Anyway, I'll be back in a few with much more information, so make sure you don't go anywhere. Yes, welcome back. That was a very short break. So let's get back to the audio tab. Actually, I think I was almost done with the audio tab. What I was telling you before we went on a break is on the audio tab, you're able to see all audio channels that are streaming into your switcher, whether SDI or XLR. So, and be able to also control the level on this audio tab. And then we have camera tab. Right now it's telling me camera 1 is on air. Yeah, I have my Blackmagic Pocket Camera 4K connected to my switcher. So, and that is the only source I have, a live source coming in. So that is what I have on air. On camera, I don't know if you have worked with Blackmagic cameras that have SDI in. I don't know if you have. But for those Blackmagic cameras, you can, and you have, if you have an Atem Television Studio HD, like the one I'm using right now, there's always an SDI out, just right above the SDI input. So these ones are meant to go back to the camera so that the cameraman can also be able to monitor the program. This person, even without talking to them, they'll be able to know if the camera is live or not. So this feed can go back into the camera. A very interesting feature, by the way, because the first time I saw the SDI input on the camera, I was like, I think the camera is supposed to give you an output. So I don't understand what an input is for in a camera. But anyway, it has a lot of features. On the camera tab, you're able to adjust color. Like right now, I have my camera connected. I can adjust lift, gamma, and gain. That is the brightness and color of the image. And I think that is basically it. There's nothing much here. So it's just for you to select which camera it is you want to adjust. When I do that, I think you see this moving. Let me put my camera on. Yeah, no, it's just fine. Our main purpose for today's show is because you find that we have a lot of people purchasing these units, and they get a problem when it comes to operating the basics of Atem software control. First thing, if you've just joined, the Atem software control is a free software. When you have purchased your unit, or even without purchasing the unit, you can still download the software. There's a version for macOS and there's a version for Windows. So when you download, you can install it and just use it. You can go through these features even without connecting your... No, sorry, that is where I'm wrong. You need to have an Atem unit. So once you have the software, it has more advanced features as compared to the controls that you have on the switcher itself. Now, there's something else. I have talked about the four, I have basically talked about the four tabs, not deeply, basically. So I'm going to show you the settings tab that is bottom left of the software control. So we have several tabs. There's general, audio, multi-view, labels, hyperdeck, and remote. Under general, you find that the previous Atem switchers, like the Television Studio HD, previously you needed to have your camera's resolution and frame rate matching the session, the configuration for the unit. Right now my unit is set to standard video standard of 1080p 25. If I had my camera on 1080p 50 or something different, then you'll not be able to see your camera. So you find sometimes you have that problem and you're like, maybe there's a problem with my camera, or there's a problem with the cable, or I don't know, maybe the switcher has a faulty port. Then you keep changing these ports. All you have to do is go into the settings and configure the video standard. Under audio, nothing much. It's just for talkback. And then there's multi-view. Multi-view is the screen that shows you all the sources connected to your Atem, including preview and program windows. I like to refer to CCTVs. For those people who don't know what a multi-view monitor is, definitely a person has seen how CCTVs are being monitored. There's just this one screen, and then you have all these cameras, these different angles, all viewed on one screen. So that is also a multi-view for our switcher. We have 8 sources right here. When you go to the multi-view, you'll see all these sources in video format, not as you're seeing them on the software. So if you have a multi-view screen connected, either SDI or HDMI multi-view screen, then you'll be able to see this window. And every time you put a source on preview and transition it to program, you'll also be able to see that. Some people like working with the preview on the left, others on the right. So you can switch this monitor to suit you. And sometimes also you can select which source you want to view on the multi-view. It doesn't have to, it necessarily doesn't have to be the physical sources connected to the switcher for you to view on the multi-view. Sometimes you have playback systems, you have media players, like the media files. So you have media files like still images. You just want to view these sources. You can go to the settings and just configure which source you want to view on your multi-view input 1, input 2, input 3 as well. So sometimes you connect your camera, you don't see it on the multi-view. This is because definitely, or maybe, the multi-view has been configured differently. So you're not able to see these sources on your multi-view. And then you can have audio meters, so that when this audio comes in, you have, like right now I have, you can activate and deactivate these audio meters. So if I had a multi-view screen connected, I will be able to see audio going up and down. You'll be able to see if it's too loud, even without listening. Sometimes you're able to see this level is fine, this level is not fine, just levels, not clarity or anything. And then we have labels. Some people like organizing their work and just having everything neat. So you find that they like, maybe they prefer labeling the inputs using the subjects the camera is facing. Let's say it's a show. Right now we have this camera facing me, and because I don't know who this person is, I'm doing a show, I have let's say 5 people, I can't cram all these people's names. So I can rename the cameras and just write an abbreviation of their name, so that if I go to the multi-view, I'm able to see that it's no longer camera 1. Let me say Fau. Fau, and then I have that saved. When I go to my multi-view, you see that my input 1 is not camera 1. It has been renamed to Fau. So you can use that to label and have a more organized work for yourself, if that suits you. I'll just take it back to camera 1, yes. And then we have, under labels, we have input, output, and media. These are labels, as in labeling anything. You just put a name on it and then that's it. You can label your outputs as well, and then also your media players. You can label your media players. What files are you having there? Maybe on media player 1, you're going to use it for the lower thirds. You just rename your media player 1 to lower thirds, and then media player 2, you put there background or images, so that every time you put media player 1 as a source, you know that this is someone's name that is going to show. But if you put media player 2, maybe this person is talking about something and then you want to project images, so on media player 2 you'll be having images. So for you to not have that confusion, you can still rename all these sources. And then we have Hyperdeck. Again, on our last video, I forgot to save the configuration, so the input 1 still has my name file. Okay, now it's back to defaults. On our previous video about configuring Hyperdeck, triggering recording and playback of Hyperdeck via the Atem software control, this is the tab we came to, and then you have to input the IP address of the Hyperdeck you have connected. You can have up to 4 of them at the same time. How interesting is this? And instead of you going back to where these things are, you find that sometimes you're working and then these things are in a rack somewhere in a different room. So most people, because they don't know there's a function like this in the Atem software control, they have to send someone there, maybe with a talkback, and then tell them, so we're coming back to you in 5, 4, count them down and all that. We don't need all that. You can connect all these things on a network using a network switch, and then control the recording and playback right from your Atem software control at your convenience. Yeah, I think that's it. We don't have any remote controls enabled for our switcher. We don't have any remote control. And I don't think there's any other thing. It was just a basic, very basic operation. Unless anyone has a question. Okay, someone asked, do you have an Atem Extreme ISO Coach, Emmanuel? Yes, we have Atem Extreme. No, we don't have the ISO, but it's a pre-order. We don't have the units shipping in yet, but we'll confirm to you once we have them coming in. Any other person with any question? I don't think there are more questions coming in. So guys, if you go back to this live stream and then you watch it, you have any challenges, you can always call our office line 0796 26 20 28, and then we'll be able to assist you. And as well, you can just walk into our offices. We are based in South B, Trans Towers, upper ground floor, office number 6. You can walk in and then we'll give you a training of how to use the Atem software control so that you can utilize all the functionalities of your switcher. Yes. That was really interesting, guys. Looking forward to having more videos like this. If you have any suggestions for next video, or if you want to learn Blackmagic, then we have you covered with Blackmagic Tuesday. So until next time, until next Tuesday, God willing, bye. Cheers. Due to public demand, I'm back. So there's a question, I just saw it when I was signing off and I couldn't let it just hang there. Abinel Gadu is asking, let me ask, how do I connect to the same network? It's pretty simple. We have done this on our previous videos, but I'll just do a quick run through of what we do to connect the same network. First of all, Atem switches come with their default IP addresses. That is 192.168.10.240. Most of them. With the new Atem models, they have a dynamic enabled. So that means you don't have to configure the IP address of your unit to be on the same network as your laptop for you to be able to access that. But I'll just run you through this quickly. I'll minimize that, and under your internet settings, you just right click and then open network and internet settings. This is for any Windows-based machine. Under Ethernet, you come to change adapter. This window will pop up. You right click on your Ethernet. Under properties, you come to Internet Protocol version 4. You double click, and then most of the time you'll find that it's on obtain an IP address automatically, because most of the time you're connecting your laptop to the Wi-Fi, and then the Wi-Fi routers have a DHCP server, so they're able to assign IP addresses to your PC, and then you're able to access internet. You don't have to go through all this hassle. But for previous models for Blackmagic Atem switches, you have to come here, and then now you go to use the following IP address. This is now putting your laptop into static mode, static IP. There are two different modes. There's static and dynamic. Dynamic, it automatically assigns, but static, you have to go and configure yourself. I told you the default IP address for this switcher is 192.168.10.240. So I have my IP address of the PC on 192.168.10.10. Up to .10, the first .10, that is the range, and then the last digit, you can change it. It varies from 1 to 240. So you can pick any number there. It doesn't have to be .10, it can be .11, .12, .50, .100. So yes, that's how you do it. And also for your Hyperdeck units, you are able to configure the IP address. You can change it to be on the same network as other units. Yeah, I don't know if that was clear enough, Abinel. I hope your question has been answered. I think I'll just stick in for a few minutes and wait to see if there'll be any more question, or if Abinel is satisfied with the response. While we're waiting for Abinel to say if he's satisfied, this is the Atem setup software. This is where you go. If I had more than one unit, more than one Atem unit connected on my network, I only have one unit connected. So I have my Ethernet cable running directly from my switcher to my laptop. So you find that if you want to work with more than one unit, the Atem has only one port, laptop has only one port. So there's no way you can have all these units interconnected unless you introduce a third-party product, which is now a network switch. Yes, once you have the network switch, you have all these units connected, and then you're good to go. So if I had more than one, then I'll have the scroll, what are they called? Next or previous arrows right here, so that I'll be able to select which unit do I want to access the Atem software control and configure. Yes, Abinel just said, yes, this is clear enough. We are glad that we are able to answer your questions, and if you have more questions, even while the live show has ended, you can leave it on the comments section, or you can visit us in our office for further assistance. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. We are so excited for this Blackmagic Tuesdays, and we hope that we can help you as much as we can with all the information you need. So be our guests. Bye-bye. Until next Tuesday. This is the second time I'm signing off. Cheers. Well, I think now I'll go sign off for the third time. There's something very important I forgot to tell you guys. We're having Blackmagic webinars end of March, that is 30th and 31st. We have a link on our Facebook page whereby you can register to attend this event. They'll be hosted by our Blackmagic representatives, and you'll be able to interact and ask any questions. They'll be talking about web broadcasting using Atem switches, and as well pocket camera family. So this is an opportunity you can't miss. If you have not seen this, make sure you go to our Facebook page. On our previous post, we have a link to a Google form that you need to fill for us to be able to send you a link to attend this webinar. All your Blackmagic questions, by the way, they'll be answered that day by them, the Blackmagic representatives. Do you have any questions? I don't think so. So yes, guys, that was the important thing that I could not just sign off without notifying you. And yeah, make sure you rush to our Facebook page, get that link, and register as soon as now. Okay. We have someone, Ahmed Ali Mohammed is watching. He just joined in. Ahmed, thank you for joining in. We were talking about the Atem software control and how to do some configurations on the Atem software controls. Once the live stream has ended, you can go play back the video, and in case you have any questions, make sure you leave them on the comment section so that we can have them answered. Well, I think now this is the final bye until next Tuesday with another Blackmagic Tuesday video. Bye.